I'm going to share some of my funny women greeting cards in this video. I haven't done that in a while. Let's do that. Come on. I write and illustrate funny women greeting cards that are called vanity cases, where the philosophy of my characters is who cares how you feel on the inside, as long as you look fabulous on the outside, which I think, quite frankly, are words to live by. I always say that. So I'm going to share where my ideas come from. I see almost everything through the prism of Hollywood, glamour, and without question, vanity, because I truly believe vanity is sanity. Oh, see, that's my Joan Crawford flower head vase in the background and my old telephones. Anyway, everything I have is retro, including my face. And so I'm going to share a couple old cards and a couple new cards. Fabulousness is the perfect lipstick color, good hair, great shoes, and eating something fattening with a friend who doesn't count the calories. Happy birthday. And isn't that the truth? The honest to goodness truth. I remember when I went to school in New York, FIT. FIT was secondary. I went to being in New York. I just wanted to be in New York. But I did happen to get a great education in advertising design at FIT. But at any rate, we would go out and buy a box of Edelman's cookies, friends, roommates, good friends, fabulous friends. We'd eat the entire box, practically the entire box in one sitting. And you know what? What you eat with friends stays with friends. That to me is a good friend. We're not worrying about the calorie count. We're just eating, enjoying, reveling in it. Yeah, I can't do that at this age. Yeah, I could barely do it at that age. So anyway, yeah, that's a fabulous friend. So that's where that idea came from good friends. Good friends who don't count the calories, right? You get it. By the way, there's my retro phones. I have about 8 or 9 of them. They're all over. Anyway, kind of cool, right? Because like I said, I love retro, whether it's my environment. I don't always love this being retro, but many times my characters have that retro feel. It's all about. And while I'm sharing a few cards today, another thing that you should know about me that seems to go into the cards is I have something called compliment Tourette's. Well, I self-diagnosed and I think I made it up, and I will probably do a video about it. Um, I compliment right and left, up and down. It's almost as though I hear myself and I can't help it. But it's such a nice thing, isn't it? It makes people feel good about themselves. And while I'm sure there's some kind of 12-step program to stop, I'm not going to stop because it just works. And even though I'm, like I said, I'm almost like an observer of myself doing the complimenting, it does come through in my cards. So, for instance, as inspired by a friend, some people can't help being fabulous, which is why we have to stick together. Wishing you a fabulous birthday. And she's one of my colorful vanity cases, of which I have a pretty large assortment, and boy, I wish I had more. I just need 15 minutes more in any given day to create. Now, to know me is to know I am toxically positive, probably to the annoyance of my 2 daughters and my husband. But I always see the sunny side of things, almost always. You can't win an argument if you say always, but always, almost always. Anyway, so I am working on, I think I'm not going to call them affirmation cards. I'm going to call them inspirational vanity cards, or I haven't figured out the title yet. But here's one that says, just because it's windy, you don't have to have a bad hair day. Stay cool, stay still, stay fabulous. So this is going to be a little package. See, I've got them on the back on my bulletin board that I'm going to sell in groupings that you can maybe insert in. It's a concept that you can insert, let's say, in greeting cards, perhaps some of my greeting cards. You could insert in greeting cards. You could put in a friend's purse. You can drop on a friend's desk. The whole point of them is they're going to be very inspirational. And again, always coming from that point, that humor, where the nucleus is vanity. So anyway, so that's one. Just because it's windy outside, you don't have to have a bad hair day, right? Comb it, stand tall, go forward. So if there's another thing you would want to know about me, assuming you want to know anything at all about me, I don't necessarily like to tell my age. I don't have a problem with it, but I'd rather give the gift of curiosity. So I do quite a few cards based on age humor, as in see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. In other words, Don't tell my age, and I won't tell yours. And I have that card in two versions, lighter skin and more colorful skin, African American vanities. And I really enjoy doing African American vanities because I think, don't we all want to see ourselves out there? My daughters are Chinese American. We adopted our daughters. And I know seeing yourself somewhere out there, even though I'm in a humor business, that's kind of important. You just want to see yourself. So I try as much as I can to create as many of the cards for that category as I can. Again, I just need one thing to create more, and that's time. Ooh, where can you find time in the day? So I know I was a little here, a little there, a little all over the place, it felt like today in my Fab'log, vlog, art vlog. But come on back. I'm always sharing creative ideas or pop culture observations in the Vanity Studio. So love, peace, and chicken grease. And please subscribe on your best friend. I'm going to bed. Please.